Well, college towns are changing the political map across the country, and that's bad news for Republicans. Of the 171 cities across the U.S. officially declared college towns, 38 have flipped from red to blue since the 2000 presidential election. Counties where Democrats used to post modest wins have now become solid blowouts for the party. OutKick founder Clay Travis joins us now. I got to show you this statistic that we have here. Call for number one. This is college towns that went from solid, well, they were reddish, and they weren't even really red, but they are now such strongly blue. So Al Gore in 2000 won in Athens, Georgia by 11.5%. In 2020, Biden got 42%. Let's go to Dane County, Wisconsin. Gore won by 0.2%, and Biden won by 52%. So this trend is not necessarily good, at least for college towns, if you're a Republican. What should they do?
Well, I would hope, first of all, that, thanks for having me on, a lot of those kids are probably still registered in the state of Georgia somewhere else. So it may be, for a lot of them, just shifting the vote from wherever their home county is to wherever they're going to college. Now, where this would become a big issue, certainly, is if a lot of these kids are out of state and they are changing their residence. Let's say you go to the University of Wisconsin and you were from New York, and New York is not going to be a close state, and instead of voting in a state that is not going to be particularly close, that Republicans are going to lose, Democrats are going to win, you go and switch strategically to a state where it's going to be very competitive and your vote could have way more impact in the Electoral College. So this is part of the gamesmanship. Now, I will say, I'm super optimistic, guys, that what we're seeing is a resetting of the American voting system post-COVID, where red has gotten redder and blue has gotten bluer. The challenge is we're going to be about a decade behind in terms of reallocating electoral votes, because it's not going to be till 2030, I think, that we have a new census. And in the meantime, for instance, in a state like Florida, where you've seen population soar, or Texas, or my home state of Tennessee, we're going to be voting based on older aspects of population details, where a state like California retains more votes than it otherwise would, where they've been losing population. So I think this is part and parcel of us being about a decade behind.
You spend a lot of time in college towns, too, with your football tour. You can really get a sense what people are saying. So I'm going to read one thing here, too, and I'll move on to another story here. Last three presidential cycles, I don't see a big deal here. 18 to 29-year-olds in 2012, they went for Barack Obama over Mitt Romney, 60-37. In 2016, they went to Trump, 55-37 over Hillary Clinton. And then in 2020, they come back to with the same numbers in 2020 as we saw in 2012, with Biden at 60% and Donald Trump at 36%. So we'll watch where it goes. Interesting article out there to read, and you can check out the counties yourself and study it. Clay, the women had a great victory on Friday night, watching them against Vietnam. The Vietnamese women sang their national anthem with gusto. The American women were pretty half-hearted. The American women's, I think three sang the song of the 10 or 11. A handful had their hand over their heart, and the others were just quiet, some of them with their hands tucked behind their back. Now, are we in for another debate on this thing as the World Cup rolls on? Watching a team that is the favorite to win?
Yeah, this is the situation that unfortunately has been created surrounding our national anthem since Colin Kaepernick took a knee. We pay far more attention to it than we ordinarily would. Here's what I wish the U.S. women would focus on. Bill, there have been 15 games played so far in the U.S. Women's World Cup. Without knowing a single player outside of the U.S. women's team, that is, I don't know anybody else who's playing in the rest of the Women's World Cup, I have picked the winner 12 out of 15 times. I've gone 12-1-2 on gambling. 2 have been draws. Do you know how I've done it, Bill? And Dana, just by assessing basic human rights in those countries. That is, you don't need to know a single player. My theory is, if women are unlikely to be able to wear shorts comfortably in a country, it's unlikely they're going to be very good at playing soccer, right? So I wish the U.S. women would come out, and say, the reason why we excel is because of America's embrace of human rights for women in a way that the rest of the world has yet to catch up to. You know, the reason our men don't win is because best male athletes all over the world get incredible opportunities to make a good living off of being an athlete. That still isn't true for women. And again, there have been 15 matches played. I posted these out, 12, 1, and 2, just by picking the country that embraces human rights
really
more.
Interesting way to
I
look
wish
at
that
it.
was more of a story from our women.
Thank you. That's a really interesting way to look at it. I'm going to try that myself. I bet you'll continue to be successful with that.
Thank you, Clay.
Great to see you.
I think so. Appreciate you all. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.